You know that feeling, right? When someone gives you a gift and it just feels a little weird. On the surface, it seems like this super generous thing, but deep down, you're left with this strange sense of obligation. Well, gift giving might seem simple, but psychologically, it's an incredibly complex act that can tell you a ton about a relationship. So let's just get right to the heart of it. Is a gift always just a gift? When someone hands you that beautifully wrapped present, is it always coming from a place of pure affection? Or could it be hiding something else entirely? That's what we're going to do in this explainer. We are going to unpack the psychology behind giving so you can learn to spot the difference between a truly heartfelt gift and what's basically a transaction wearing a clever disguise. Okay, so first things first, let's set a baseline. What does real generosity actually look like? What does it feel like? It all really boils down to one key idea in psychology, and that idea is altruism. It's basically a word for genuinely caring about other people's happiness without expecting anything back. The motivation isn't what's in it for me, it's just the pure joy that comes from making someone else feel good. And get this, there's actually brain science behind this. It's pretty cool. When we give from that genuine place, our brains can release these feel-good chemicals, creating what's known as the helper's high. And no, it's not selfish. It's just our brain's built-in reward system for connecting with other people. It feels good because, well, it is good for us as social creatures. And Ralph Waldo Emerson just nailed it with this quote. A true gift is like a two-way street of good energy. It's about a mutual flow of care and understanding. It is not a bill that you have to pay back later. Okay, but we all know it's not always that pure and simple, right? So let's flip the coin. Let's look at the dark side, how this beautiful act of giving can get twisted and used as a tool for control. And this right here is the absolute key difference you have to understand. A real gift, it's free, no strings attached. A transaction, that creates an obligation. So if you get a present and your first thought is, what do I owe them now? Listen to that feeling. It probably wasn't a gift. It was the first half of a deal you never even agreed to. This brings us to a really important term you may have heard of, love bombing. It's this overwhelming fire hose of affection, compliments, and yep, a lot of expensive gifts. It feels incredible at first, but the real goal isn't love. It's to create a false sense of security and make you feel indebted, which makes you so much easier to control down the line. And, there's a really strong connection here to narcissistic traits. For someone with those tendencies, giving a gift isn't about you at all. It's a performance. It's a chance for them to show off how generous or wealthy or thoughtful they are. The gift is just a prop in their own show. Yeah, this can get super confusing, can it? I mean, a huge, grand gesture could be genuine love, or it could be a giant red flag. So how are you supposed to know which one you're dealing with? Well, thankfully, there are some pretty clear patterns you can learn to look for. This chart lays it all out pretty clearly. First, look at the pacing. Real connection? It builds slowly. It's gradual. Love bombing is a whirlwind. It's fast, furious, and it feels like there's a ton of pressure. Then, think about the motivation. True generosity supports your freedom. A manipulator has a hidden agenda, and that love just vanishes the second you don't play along. And finally, resilience. A real relationship can handle mistakes and grow stronger. Love bombing is incredibly fragile. It shatters at the first sign of a disagreement. I love this analogy. It's such a powerful way to think about it. Real love is like a good, nourishing meal. It builds you up, it sustains you. Love bombing is like cotton candy. It's a super sweet rush for a moment, but ultimately, it just leaves you feeling empty and kind of sick. Okay, let's get even more specific. What are the concrete warning signs, the actual red flags that tell you a gift isn't really a gift? So here are a few classic examples. You've got the image-controlling gift, which is stuff meant to change how you look to fit their taste. Then there's the monitoring gift, which is super creepy. It's tech that lets them track you. There's also the guilt trigger gift, something that's always reminding you of a mistake or a big sacrifice they made. And the big one, the get out of trouble card. That's that flashy, expensive present they give you right after they messed up to buy forgiveness instead of actually apologizing. Now, it's important to remember this all exists on a spectrum. Sometimes overgiving isn't totally malicious. It might come from low self-esteem, a need to buy affection. But other times, yes, it is absolutely about power. Either way, the focus shifts away from the recipient's happiness and lands squarely on the giver's own needs. And if you want the number one ultimate litmus test, here it is. Watch how they react when you say no. A truly generous person doesn't see their gift as leverage. A manipulator does. So if they give you something and then you set a boundary later and they get angry or pouty, that tells you everything you need to know. The gift had a price tag you couldn't see. So if you find yourself in this kind of situation, what can you actually do? How do you protect yourself when you're navigating these really tricky dynamics? You have to really let this idea sink in. Recognizing an exchange for what it is isn't ungrateful. It's just being honest. It's giving yourself permission to stop feeling obligated by something that was never really a gift in the first place. Here's a clear path forward. First, trust your gut. If a gift makes you feel uneasy, pay attention to that. Second, look for patterns. Is this a one-time thing or is this a habit? Third, and this is the most important one, prioritize your own well-being over their expectations, which means you absolutely have the power to politely decline gifts that feel wrong and to set firm boundaries for the future. And let's be crystal clear on this. You have the right to refuse a gift. You don't owe anyone anything for a present you didn't ask for, period. Your peace of mind is way more important than any object. Saying no isn't rude. It's a profound act of self-respect. So we'll end with this question for you to think about. What are your relationships built on? Is it genuine generosity or is it a series of transactions? True connection is built on a foundation of mutual care and respect. Transactions are just about what we can get from each other. And knowing that difference, that's the key to building healthier, more authentic relationships.